Chapter 1. Shadows in the Void. The Omnisclave station floated in the endless black void, a mere speck against the backdrop of the Empyrean. Officially, it was a research outpost dedicated to studying anomalies beyond the fringes of the Imperium. Unofficially, it was a forgotten relic of a time when humanity dared to tread where even gods feared. Sergeant Gower of the Imperial Guard scanned the station's schematics on his data slate. The mission was clear: investigate why the station had gone silent and, if necessary, purge it of heresy. As the squad disembarked from their Valkyrie transport, an oppressive silence greeted them. No greeting parties, no servitors clanking down the halls, just the echo of their boots on the metal deck. "Stay sharp!" Gower barked. "Whatever happened here, it wasn't good." Corporal Corvus, the team's Vox operator, glanced uneasily at his auspex. "Sarge, I'm picking up something, but it's faint. Could be interference." "Could be a trap," muttered Trooper Ahrens, clutching his lasgun tightly. The deeper they ventured into the station, the more wrong everything felt. The corridors were eerily clean, yet the walls bore scratches, marks too precise to be random. A whisper broke the silence, faint, like a breeze where there should be none. "Did anyone hear that?" Ahrens asked, his voice trembling. "Hear what?" Gower snapped, though he too had felt it. Not a sound, but a presence, brushing against his mind like an unseen hand. The whisper grew louder, words forming in an alien cadence. The lights flickered, and for a brief moment, the shadows on the walls seemed to move. "Form up!" Gower commanded. The squad pressed on, weapons raised, as the whispers became a cacophony. Chapter 2. The Void's Gaze. The darkness was absolute. It swallowed the beams of their flashlights, turning them into feeble glimmers. The squad huddled together, barely suppressing their growing panic. "This is just an anomaly. We're in its zone of influence," Corvus started, his voice faltering. Sergeant Gower didn't reply. His hand hovered near his belt, fingers brushing the grenades clipped there. "Quiet," he ordered. The whispers rose again, louder now, surrounding them from all directions. But it wasn't just sound. It was inside their heads, a psychic chorus of alien malice. "We see your fears! We are you!" Ahrens snapped. He bolted forward, running blindly. "They'll kill us! We have to leave! We have to—" His scream cut short. The squad heard a wet, crunching noise, followed by silence. "Emperor, protect us!" muttered one of the troopers, gripping his chainsword. "They're playing with us!" The darkness receded slightly, revealing walls covered in ancient, pulsating symbols. They moved and shifted, forming words in languages no human was meant to understand. "Your blood, your souls, feed us." Gower knew time was running out. "Move, quickly!" he barked. "Anyone who lags behind stays here." The soldiers ran, their footsteps echoing down endless corridors. Behind them, the walls seemed to twist and shift, reshaping themselves. Suddenly, a section of the corridor opened into a vast chamber, the station's central hub. Chapter 3. The Labyrinth of Despair. The hub was a desecrated shrine. At its center stood a black obelisk, smooth as glass, but pulsing with crimson light. Shadows danced around it, whispering in languages of the damned. Corvus took an involuntary step forward. This is the source." Gower grabbed his shoulder, pulling him back. "Don't get near it!" "We have to destroy it! It's our duty!" Ahrens shouted, pulling a plasma grenade from his belt. He ran forward, ignoring Gower's orders, and hurled the grenade at the obelisk. The explosion lit up the chamber, and for a moment, it seemed the nightmare was over. But as the smoke cleared, the obelisk remained untouched. The shadows solidified, taking on the forms of the squad's fallen comrades. "This can't be!" Corvus whispered. "We saw them die!" "They're not real!" Gower roared, firing his bolt pistol. But the bullets passed harmlessly through the apparitions. The voices of the dead grew louder, filling the room with a deafening chorus. "You will not escape! You are part of us! Eternal darkness is your fate!" The squad began to break. Arends fell to his knees, praying. The others followed suit, their wills shattered. Only Gower stood firm, his eyes locked on the obelisk. This is the heart of it all," he muttered. Gripping his last plasma grenade, he stepped forward. The whispers intensified, clawing at his mind, but he ignored them. "For the Emperor!" he shouted, hurling the grenade. The explosion was blinding. For a brief moment, everything was bathed in light. Gower saw the obelisk crack and shatter. The shadows screamed and disappeared. And then there was silence. Chapter 4. Endless Silence. When Gower opened his eyes, he was floating in a vast, empty void. Pieces of the station drifted around him, silhouetted against the cold blackness. "I'm alive," he whispered, though his voice echoed unnaturally. A figure appeared before him. It was Corvus, but his eyes glowed red. "You destroyed their tool, but you cannot destroy us. You are part of us now, Sergeant." The figure dissolved into the void. Gower closed his eyes, realizing the truth. He hadn't won. He had only become their newest victim.